Did you check the mail? Aha! It probably is here. It might be.
No, I definitely checked the mail. Hello, everybody. My name is Ilya.
And my name is Tylor. Together we make up Kovray, a couple that loves to play board games.
Can you believe it is the month of May?
The month of May. And we are leaving
to
Japan.
We will be gone for half of May in Japan, where we'll get to see all the scenic sights, and we'll check out the Tokyo game market as well.
Stay tuned for that.
That'll be a fun little video coming up. But I suspect our May stats will likely be lower because we won't be playing as many games in Japan.
Yeah, we won't be traveling with as many games. We obviously won't be playing as many games, but we'll get some in when we go to Tokyo. Well, I guess, I don't know if we'll actually play games. We'll probably just buy games.
We probably will buy quite a bit of games. Yes. But why are you here? We haven't even introduced the video yet.
True.
It is the month of May, which means we're here to do the stats of April to see how we did, and of course tell you our favorite games from the month of
April.
Which is what I just said.
Yeah. I almost said February.
It feels like February.
Yikes.
Well, we have played 38 different games.
I feel like we should caveat this because I did not play 38 games.
I have played 38. Actually, no, I haven't because you've played some games that I haven't. So collectively, we've played 38 different games, but separately, probably a little bit less. A lot of my gameplays have come from Canada Plays, which I talked about in an earlier video, so feel free to check that out. But out of those 38 plays, we have played for 38 games. We have played 49 plays.
Yes.
There's quite a few games that we played at least twice.
Yeah.
And you might be wondering, why do we care? Well, we have a goal.
Marks our goal of playing 365 different games this year.
In 2025. Now, we have never reached this goal.
We have not.
We have been in the 300s every year for the last 3 years. So
it's hard.
It is hard because you get to play your favorites again and again. And 365 different games is quite a bit. So, we are 134 now different games played in the year of 2025. Which, if you do some quick maths, you'll know it's 36%.
Quick maths for that? I don't think that's quick maths.
The quick maths I wrote down because I did the maths longly earlier.
I guess you do 130 over 360 and you could probably figure it out.
Yeah.
But
it means we're ahead because we should be at 33%. But we are actually further. And February is a short month, so technically we're doing even better.
Ooh.
Or worse.
Better.
With
less days. Yeah.
Hopefully. But that means we're still on track. We'll still keep going through. And of course, this is also to give you sort of a premise of where are these top 5 games coming from. Well, there's 39 games to consider. They're not just the 5 games we played in April.
True.
But that said, I think we can dive in.
We can.
Of course, I have an honorable mention.
No honorable mentions. What the heck?
My honorable mention is Piles. Piles is so much fun.
Piles is fun, but that's not the point.
All you're doing in this game is you are collecting sets of clothes. Is it always clothes?
I think it's like, yeah.
It is always clothes.
Yeah.
And they're all the same. And the way you're doing it is simultaneously. It's a quick and grab game. It also plays up to 8 players. It's a buckets of fun. But because it's an honorable mention and Tyler is already upset at me.
Hold on, I have a better one. It's laundry loads of fun.
Laundry loads of fun. This is my go-to bigger group or just we gotta shake things off game now. It's really fun.
It is fun.
It's piles of fun.
There you go. Lucky you.
I got to sneak in an honorable mention. Yay.
And you also get to go first because my number 5 is on your list, so we're skipping it.
Yay. My number 5 is Kilauea. Or Kilauea.
Kilauea.
Now, this game is a crowdfunding game that's currently on crowdfunding, so it is not yet readily available, but I hope it will be soon because it is buckets of fun. It's really interesting because in this game, your decision-making is extremely dynamic as to what everybody else is doing. Because your scoring is really dependent on what everybody else is doing. So every turn matters. And what everybody else is doing matters. And there's some really fun twists that you can pull off. There's some good ability combinations you can make. And overall, it's a really gorgeous table presence. It's really fun to play. I've played it now at 2 players, at 4 players, actually, and 3 players as well. So I played at all the player counts, and it is a game that I've really thoroughly enjoyed over my time.
yeah, you're basically sharing all the components at the board, and I find that always interesting because it's like fighting for certain colors, manipulating certain colors, and then making sure that you're able to do it. I like the decision making of like the canoe.
Mhm.
Like based on how much you have allows you to move so many spaces. I think that's really cool.
There's also closed economy of one of the resources, so that also is
Oh,
really
yes, yeah,
interesting
yeah.
because it almost feels like a tug and pull with other players.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a really neatly designed game with a really unique way of scoring as well that I look forward to sharing with other players to come.
Yeah.
Now, if you are interested in this game, we did a how to play. I'll put it over there. And click that link. You can learn more about it. But stay tuned for the rest of our list.
Mm-hmm. My number 4 is this one right here. It's heavy. It's Quacks All-In Edition. This is the reprint, I guess we could call it.
The CMYK
edition. It
edition.
is a CMYK edition. And it is a Quacks of Quedlinburg reprint. Mm-hmm. And basically this is a bag builder where you're going to be putting a bunch of ingredients into a bag and then drawing them and mixing a potion or brewing a pot. And you want to do that the best without making it explode. And that's like the gist of the game. The fun part about it is there's like 9 rounds, and each round the whole idea is that you'll be able to get more, to be able to spend more, to make your bag better, to score yourself more points. And it is very modular, which is like my favorite part about this game. The base is like very interesting. It really introduces like a lot of different combos to the game, but once you start like mixing and matching or like doing the B side, the C side, it really starts becoming more and more interesting in the way that you are doing things. And yeah, Quacks.
It's really fun because they put all the expansions in this box as well.
Yes, yeah.
And the way that they're introduced, because I actually have never played with the expansions.
No, that's the big reason I was like excited about this, is because we've never been able to get our hands on the expansions.
But the rulebook also introduces the expansions so smoothly. Usually I'm very daunted by like, which expansion am I playing? Do we really got to play with the expansion? But this one I can see us diving and trying each of the expansions and seeing what they have to offer. Also, I love the art. It kind of carries throughout the game. It's very fun. But where the heck is Quedlinburg?
No, it's just Quacks.
Where's Quedlinburg?
I don't know.
Where did he go? Where did they go? What is a Quedlinburg?
I thought it was the town.
It's the place.
Yeah.
But I miss it. Where is it?
That's fine because it's my number 4 and it's not on your list. So leave it alone.
Okay.
Quacks. Bag building, try it out. Boom.
Are we ready for my number 4?
I suppose so.
My number 4 is Pyramido.
Yay.
Forgotten Treasures.
Yeah, you have to add that Forgotten Treasures because it's a new one.
So, Pyramido is a very good game. And it is very underrated because it has not been talked about a lot. And it should be because it's very clever. The drafting, the placement, the build up, the way the game almost feels quicker as the game progresses. Well, it is quicker because you're drafting less tiles.
And like King Domino is like super popular.
So Pyramido is amazing. Definitely check it out if you've not played it. But here's a fun thought. I think Pyramido Forgotten Treasures is better.
Oh, it 100% is.
Because it introduces a new fun gem mechanic that kind of... Because in the Pyramido, you're placing meeples to score your points, where here you're utilizing gems and utilizing them strategically and timely to score the most points. And there's ways to double your score. The tiles themselves glisten. There's a really fun kind of gem placement on it. The drafting is also really fun. The way that it's done, it's a little bit different than the original game. I feel like they've learned everything that was good in the first game and made it 2 times better in the second game, which is how sequels and game universes should work.
Yes. Yeah, the original, the reason I didn't like it was because of the scoring, and you were limited to the colors that you were like had available to you, so the draft kind of hurt. Sometimes it worked out for you, sometimes it didn't, or you could use like those excavation tiles or something like that. But this one removes all of that because even if you don't have your colors that you need for the tiles, you just need the gems for it. So you can count something that isn't necessarily on that layer, and I think that's really clever. So, yeah.
Very good. Pyramido.
All right, my number 3 is a 2-player game that we played. It's called Azul Duel. Some of you might be familiar with Azul, and this is a 2-player version of it. They do a really good job at taking what I really liked about Azul and putting it into a 2-player version and shortening it. The best part about this game is it's 5 rounds, so you are just limited to that. But it's a drafting game that you're used to in the Azul, but you're also making your board. I think in a version of Azul, like a mode of Azul, you actually are making your own board, like you're putting the ones that you want on the
the back side of the board.
Yeah. But in this, it's basically that, and you're going to be drafting, putting them down, and then collecting them. But the drafting is also slightly different, which made it quite interesting because in all of the tiles, you basically end up like if you in the night zone, if you see like the reds, you take all of the reds that are in all of the night zones, and that ends up actually being quite interesting in terms of, well, drafting, but also in terms of like decisions because of that minus points that you end up getting.
I feel like unlike the sequels, this one stays the most true to the original.
I mean, it is Azul,
and it just like
right?
polishes Azul as a whole.
Well, I think it made it a really good 2-player game because you are then paying attention to when your opponent does certain things, when you do certain things, and how you can like mitigate them from getting certain tiles. So I thought that was really interesting because I think as you play Azul, like that becomes more and more of a thing. You are paying attention to like what would really mess people up. But this, in a 2-player game, you almost expect it, and you want that to be there. At least in my opinion, you want that to be there in a 2-player game.
It's a really stellar game. I do think justice for Stained Glass of Sintra, because that is.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about Azul Duel,
which is also really good.
It's my number 3.
Well, my number 3 is your number.
My number 5,
which is
Night Soil. Fun.
I have so many words for this game.
I was to say, I'm gonna wait.
So, how do I even begin?
Theme.
So, the theme in this game is you are shoveling poop.
Basically.
Across London. Basically. Because back in the day, there was not sewage systems. You couldn't just flush the toilet.
So there'd be buckets, and then at the night, people would toss them into the street.
You can guess, the streets were quite smelly. Where in fact a business has emerged, which is the Night Soil business. Where essentially you are trying to make the best coin by making sure the streets are clean and as fragrant free of the poop as possible. So that is the theme. If anyone ever tells you there's no theme of that in board games, I feel like this game is a classic example. You can find the most unique, coolest themes. But what makes it even better is not only is the theme really neat, the game is extremely thematic.
The gameplay is great.
It is extremely thematic. It's super fun to play. And because what you're essentially doing is during the day, you're going to be sending your workers out there. You're going to be soliciting for advertisements, telling people about your business. You'll be cozying up to the patrons so they can give you a little bit of benefit. You'll be earning your coins and investing into your business. And then
all while people during the day are taking their poos in their buckets.
That's true. And your workers are going to contribute to the mess because if there's too many of them in a place, poop.
And you can't do it. You can't just be there. If there's too much poop.
You don't want to go on that street. It's too messy.
Exactly.
But come the nighttime, and you're put to work. Those little Night Soil cubes are going to be moving across London. You'll be throwing them into the river. You'll be throwing them over the fence. It's a joy. And it's so much fun, and it's a game that I can see us. I can't wait to play at a high player count. We've only played it 2. It's really shined at 2. We actually did a playthrough. You can check it out. And yeah, Night Soil is fantastic.
It is really fun. I think you kind of covered it all. In poo. Not.
It's not crappy, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, Night Soil is a lot of fun. Ilya kind of covered everything I like. I will say that there are like, you can add to your workers. So initially you only have 3 and it's very fun to like engine build that. Because then you have like combos. And I like the area majority thing where you're collecting those, what are they? Not the banners, but the...
Patron tracks?
Patron tracks, yeah. I really like those because they add some abilities to the game that people are like often like, you want them. You want them.
I also like that there's a rosebud on the cover.
Boop. And that's Night Soil.
My number 2
is not here right now.
It literally should have got here yesterday.
And I haven't even been able to play it.
And you haven't played it. One of the
games I haven't played yet.
It is Come Sail Away. Now, this is a Sashi game, and it's so much fun.
Oh, it's Sashi?
It is. It's so much fun because what you're doing is there's a little bit of a cruise ship, and then you're Mancala style placing workers trying to fill the rooms and score the most points.
Yeah.
There's a fun little draft element of the cards that the guests that you'll be choosing, so you'll always have 2 to choose from. You'll pass one to your opponents. It's genuinely so much fun. It also plays really quick because it's simultaneous play. So I believe it's 12 rounds. They go by really quickly. There's some competitive elements across everybody. You're trying to race for certain goals. You're trying to do the best that you can. And by the end of it all, you'll come back to it and you'll have another joyous time. The components are great. The game is great. It's so much fun. I played a Canada Plays and I immediately ordered it online. It should have got here yesterday so I could present the box to you and show Tylor because it could have been on his list.
I'm surprised it didn't get here, actually.
But it didn't get here.
Did you check the mail? Ha! It probably is here. It might be.
No, I definitely checked the mail.
The one thing I will say is I wanted to play it before because Ilya was raving about it after he came back from Canada Plays, and now that I didn't realize it was a Sashi game, so now I want to play it even more. So.
I think it's Sashi and Daryl Chow. So
yeah,
it's a great combination.
Okay, on to my number 2.
Which is?
Your number 1, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's talk about diatoms.
Okay, I'll let you start and I'll finish it off.
This is really neat. First of all, like, what is this called? The foiling on the
pretty.
tokens? Yeah, all of it looks like this, so it's like fantastic looking. But it's like this microscope game where you're basically taking different sections of your you're placing a tile and then taking the section of that tile along with a couple other tiles, and you're grabbing corresponding shapes.
Diatoms.
Yeah. And you're putting them onto your board where they fit. Now, your board is where it gets really interesting because you're not really going to fill it up. So you have to strategically plan based on all of the scoring opportunities that are there. And boy, oh boy, are there a lot. That's what I have to say. Now you can chime in.
There's 3 things I like about this game.
I knew you were going to say this.
I love saying 3 things. Thing number 1.
Especially about the top.
There's a tile placement. You're building a collective algae, and it's a collective tile placement, which makes it really interesting because sometimes you're waiting for players to create a certain section of tile so you can capitalize on it. Taking away certain sections is a really, really interesting element of the game. Number 2, the pattern building on your microscope board is so much fun.
It is really cool.
There are so many cool ways you can manipulate your board, things you can collect, and I feel like you never feel truly bad because you can make the best out of the worst situation based on what you're doing.
Can I guess what your number 3 is?
Yes.
Score high.
Exactly.
Nice.
I love when you can score a lot of points. Do I want to score 3 points or do I want to score 328? Obviously 328. Make me do the math. Let me dive into it. I don't want to win by 1 point. That's not exciting. I want to win by 60, which I have been able to do in diatoms. And there's modularity. There's gorgeous table presence. There's scientific facts because diatoms, I didn't know what they were. But you get to learn this game because you have a little handy guide that tells you more about diatoms.
That guide is amazing.
The production, everything in this game is just brilliant.
Petri dishes.
Yeah, they're
it
little
comes with
petri
dishes.
Petri dishes.
Petri.
Petri dishes.
Now I think I'm saying it wrong. Petri dishes. They're cute. They hold all of the components. It's so fantastic.
It's so much fun.
It's just such a small thematic thing that elevates the game just a little bit more. And for those of you who are really into theme, that just means the game's even that much better. And come on.
And it plays in 20 minutes.
It plays so fast.
It's fast. It has everything. It is the blueprint of a game I really enjoy. And I honestly can see this being in my top 10 list for this year. Will it make an appearance? We'll have to collaborate all the top 5 lists of each month and see how it all lands up at the end of the month. Because who knows, maybe we'll play this too many times and I'll be like,
I'm over it. But maybe that means it has to be a good game.
We'll see. We'll see in a year.
In 8 months, really.
It's gonna fly by.
Yeah.
That is diatoms.
Speaking of top 10 lists, I feel like this game is definitely going to make my top 10.
Is it now?
Yeah, because I also got to play it while Ilya was away.
I did not
And this is my number 1 game this month again.
Again?
Again, because I think it was my number 1 game last month.
Wow, lucky game.
Boom! Galactic Cruise! Can't even see me from behind the box. That's how big this thing is.
I gotta be this way.
Oh.
And you gotta go a little bit that way.
Galactic Cruise.
You
Look
did
at
play it at the ideal player count.
I played
this
it
time.
at 3. I got to play it at
Did you like it better at 3 or worse?
I don't really think I noticed a difference.
That makes my argument complete. 3 is better.
No, 4 is good. It took us just as long to play 3.
Why?
Because we did it with like the modules.
Oh, you learned.
So no. We did it so that like most of the actions in the base, for everybody who knows, I guess, hold on. Let's take it back. Let's take some steps back and explain what Galactic Cruise is. You are basically a company who is running a... Okay. You're basically a company that is running a space cruise, but in order to do that, you need to market it, you need to advertise it, you need to invite guests on, you need to build your ships, you need to launch those ships, you need to gather resources, you need to get money, sell cards, all of these things that are meant to take all of these actions.
Business.
All of these actions that you're going to be taking throughout the game, all to launch these ships. When your guests are on them, you're going to score different ways. There's a lot of resources involved. There's a lot of resource management involved. And there's a lot of timing that's really important in this game. And it's just a crunchy game that feels very thematic, which makes it even easier to like slide into. Mm-hmm. Now, back to what I was trying to say. The base of this, as the board has actions on it. So in each action zone, there's two actions. The actions often make sense, like, or at least on the standard board, they make sense that they're together. Mm-hmm. So, like, one of them is like you can gain resources, and then the other is like you can discard a card to fill up the silo that holds all the resources. So those make sense together. When you play it on a more difficult mode, those are now modular, so that those actions might not match up, and that makes the game a lot more interesting because your turns have to be that much more optimized, and you really have to like know what you're trying to do and try and figure out how to do it the best compared to everybody else. The fact that there's so much modularity that can happen in that means that there's a bunch of different combinations that can happen, and I get really excited to see like what comes next in the game that we're going to be playing. In this time around, I think we started launching ships a little early, or earlier than the last time we played it, and that also made the game a little interesting because there was more cruises that were available. There was like a more interesting decision of like not always taking 2 people onto your cruise. There is often points where you were just like bringing 1 guest onto your cruise, and then that was like elevating the game. It just like has a lot going on for it, and I love it. I love this game.
I'll play it again. It was fun.
I'm going to play it again. When? Hopefully in June when we get back.
I thought you were going to say in Japan. I
was going to say
I don't
in
know
May,
if we should
but
bring it.
This is my carry-on.
Galactic Cruise.
Galactic Cruise. And that's my number 1 for April. Oh, put down.
So that has been our top 5 games of the month.
Of April. The month of April.
The month of April in 2025.
Where has the time gone?
Because next April we may have a different top 5 of the month.
That's true.
We likely will, to be honest.
100% will.
Or maybe we'll play the same games and we'll have the same top 5.
Next year's goal. Play every game in sequence correctly as we did in 2025.
Goals are just so much fun.
That one.
You know how you can enjoy a hobby even more? Set arbitrary goals to help you succeed through the hobby.
In goals that you never reach in the 3-year time period.
You know what I've learned to be self-conscious of? The way I say churn.
Churn?
Because I can't say with a T. I say like churn butter.
Churn butter?
Like how you CH?
Turn. No, turn.
How do you say it with a T?
Turn.
Turn.
No. Yeah, I guess so.
How do I do, like, where do you put your tongue?
The front of my mouth.
Turn. Would that do it?
Turn.
I need to learn. English is a hard language, as you will hear me say in every video that we do.
Good thing I only speak English, which means I'm perfect at it.
Are you?
No, not at all.
Well, for our question of the day today.
What was your favorite game?
In April.
Yeah.
What did you play? What did you enjoy? And what are you looking forward to playing next?
That's a whole lot of questions.
Yeah, because when we do our monthly recaps, we have a buffet of questions. Mm-hmm. You can choose and take any and participate in the comments down below.
Exactly. And of course, if you liked this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button if you're new here, because we love talking and chatting board games.
And if you want to support us further, we have a Patreon where we have a couple of additional videos. And, of course, our Discord where we talk not only board games, but all other sorts of fun things. Like Pokemon Go, like sports.
Yeah, it's NBA playoffs right now. And I'm loving it.
And Tyler plays BGA games with folks.
A lot of them.
And not me.
I think I have like 13 BGA games on the go right now.
Are they all Darwin's Journey?
3 of them are.
Well, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you at
the next one. Bye!